I don't know why I decided to shoot this outside. First, let's explain this. I have a lung condition that I've had my whole life, and when I go up in the mountains at high elevation, I have to have this. When I'm at home, good to go. I'm fine. Thanks for your concern. So, my fiance's parents have this sick house up in the mountains of Colorado, and we've been spending more and more time up here every now and then. But as a voiceover video production type of guy, you can't take time off. So wherever you go, your equipment has to go. Come on. Come here. Spencer. Keeping tabs on my doggy. Long story short, it's kind of a pain in the ass. But in this video, I'm going to kind of show you what my setup is, what didn't work for me here at this house, and what does work for me. I wish there was a black and white, just like, hey, if you're on the road, this is what you do with your studio. It's cheap, affordable, and it's perfect. But you know what? This weather sucks. Let's get inside. Come on. Oh boy. Okay, I was gonna explain this outside, but obviously the wind is just, it's nasty out there. So anyway, the problem with portable studio is it doesn't seem to be a quick, easy, affordable option for most people when they're on the road, right? I've been looking into purchasing a tri-booth, which is $1,500, and it all fits in a bag or a suitcase, and it's got pretty much everything you need, but I'm not sure if that's gonna work or not. But anyway, this video isn't about the tri-booth. In this video, I'm gonna kind of be as detailed as I can, so you might be here for a minute, on what I've tried for setups here that didn't work, and what I am currently doing that does work. And I'll let you know what the deal is. Let's roll. So here's an office. Very obvious. You probably can't see me right now because the light's behind me. But here's an office. Obvious choice. Vacant office where I could set stuff up. This is what I tried first, and I'll kind of explain how it didn't work. So I've got you up on the desk right now. So what I did, I've got a laptop set up, is I took one of my packing blankets that I use for sound. Well, maybe I can just give you an example. So basically, this room it's got a lot of sound bouncing around. So I took a blanket on one end, and I just kind of squeeze it into this crevice, and then shut the door on both sides, and it would be held up. So the blanket on this end deadened things pretty well. I mean, kind of well. For the other areas, such as right here at the desk, I stacked in the window here as many pillows as I could. And then over here, I put pillows on top of this shelf. And I put pillows over here. Check out this painting, it's so sick. Or maybe it's a picture, I don't know. So basically, just put pillows all over the place. But the problem that I was running into is when I put the mic stand on the table, is that it was right next to my laptop, and I was still getting a little room noise. So what I would do is my laptop was on this side of the desk, my mic was on this side of the desk. I would sit down, put this over my head and over the microphone like that, and I would record. And it worked pretty well. The blanket helped enough to where you couldn't hear the fan noise from my laptop. So that was last time I was here. But I like to be able to record and edit in the same spot. And pulling the blanket over, recording, and not even going to another room, but just moving over to my laptop, It's too much. I want to be able to hit record and then edit. And while I'm editing, I find spots that I can re-record, turn the mic on, boom, good to go. I've spoiled myself in the fact that I have to edit and record right at the same time in the same spot. So I bought one of those Scott Studios boxes to record into this last time when we came up here. I'll show a picture so you know what I'm talking about. And I was thinking that I could do the same thing and just like put a blanket over me. So like the blanket's covering behind me so the sound can't bounce around. You're talking into this foam, so you're good to go. But no matter what I did, if I didn't treat the room first, even with this box, it still doesn't work because you're speaking loud enough for the most part that you're still getting room noise that's coming in through the blanket somehow. I mean, unless I just use a big, huge, fat, thick blanket. But the problem that you have there is if you're recording for more than like 2, 3, 4 minutes, it gets really hot in there. And this sounds petty. It's like, oh yeah, first world problems. But I'm gonna spend a lot of time over the years recording away from home. And I'm still in the pursuit of really trying to find a setup that I don't feel like I'm compromising. Because when I'm in a setup where I don't feel comfortable like I am at home, it hampers my creativity, it hampers my productivity, and I want to spend less time in my studio. So that's not good, right? So let's check out what does work for me right now. What does work for me is this walk-in closet. Now the thing that I realize is not everywhere I go is going to have a small confined space that's perfect for recording voiceover or whatever type of audio I need to record. So super lucky to have this walk-in closet. It also doubles as like a pantry and stuff. Yeah, I won't apologize for it being a mess, whatever. But here's the setup, and also here's what I do to avoid the laptop noise with my regular setup. I hook up a monitor separately to my laptop so the laptop isn't in the same space where my microphone is, kind of like this. So as you can see outside of the door, I've got the laptop fan set under my laptop, and then I've got my laptop here, and I've got an HDMI going into the closet so that this fan isn't going to interfere with my recordings because the door provides enough protection to where that sound won't bleed through into my studio. Let's check out the studio. So I don't know how this is going to sound right now because I'm not facing the microphone, but I found a little table. I put it in the closet. I've got my keyboard, mouse, monitor, everything I need right here. I've got my Spin Tech. Found this on Amazon. I just put it on the clothes rail and it goes right down there. And my God, this thing is perfect. So also what I've done to help is obviously these clothes help. I'm just hanging blankets and stacking pillows wherever I can. And it's done a good enough job to where I'm all set. This studio, super effective. You're still hearing room noise right now because I got the door open. But when I shut the door, I can record here, I'm good to go. This Spin Tech thing, it's awesome. I hesitated to buy it on Amazon because it's only got 4 stars. You know, usually I like to see like 4.5 stars before I purchase something, but so far for what it is, especially for a small shotgun microphone like the 416, it works absolutely perfect, and I can move it around enough to where it can be out of the way. The one thing I would add is a monitor that's smaller and more portable, which I think I'm gonna do. So if you're planning on the same setup to where you can have a monitor connected to the laptop and you can put the laptop on the other side of the wall or the door like I do, I would go with a little smaller one just to make your setup more portable. You could protect the screen, put it in your setup, your mobile setup in your suitcase or whatever. I think it's possible. And I'll link one out down in the description, which I'm gonna buy to upgrade my setup to make it a little more portable and compact. Because as of right now, outside of this monitor, I can fit everything in one bag, which is incredible. So here's that Troy Studio. Did I say Scott Studio earlier? Scott Studio was a broadcasting software, I believe, back in the day. Anyway, here's the Troy Studio thing. These fit inside it, but really for this small setup, it just took up too much room. I'm sorry, Troy Studio, but your thing is not for voiceover, and I don't think you claim for it to be for voiceover. And I think this is a great little device for podcast recording or whatever you need to kind of lessen, because I think it's going to lessen the room noise by 70, 80, 90% or something, they say. But even if it is 90 to 95%, you're going to hear that 5% of echo or room noise in the room. And for voiceover work, it's not okay. Maybe 1%, 2% echo that you can hear. Maybe that could pass for a lot of voiceover jobs that you do. But what I did is I found that the foam that came with the Troy Studio thing is actually really good. And the way that it's built, I've just kind of stacked it in areas that I can, and it's compactable enough to where I can fit it in my suitcase, and it's good to go. So, this is a makeshift studio. This is a makeshift studio that works great. I'm okay right here, but what I'm still in search of is maybe the tri-booth. I guess I'll drop some money on a portable booth, but I feel like since I used the Troy Studio thing and put the blanket over myself and really was encapsulated 100% with blankets around me and the foam in the box and still room noise got in, I gotta think with a more high-end portable studio like the tri-booth or any other booths you see on like eBay or anything, I would assume that you're still going to get the room noise if you're in a room that's not treated. So, long story long, if you're taking a portable booth type setup into a room that's not treated, it's probably not going to work. If you have a DAW that has advanced post-production that you can put into it to take away like a de-reverb or something, then I think there's ways you can do that. And I think with the tri-booth, they actually have audio engineers who take your specific setup and they're able to customize a post-production chain that takes away or that kind of customizes your setup for what you're doing. But if you travel a lot, that's not going to matter because you're going to be in a different environment every time. So, as far as I know, wherever I travel, I've got to find the smallest room possible to make this setup work. And I could bypass all this if I bought a MacBook Air or something that didn't have a fan. Or I think maybe Acer or Asus or whatever, I think they make a small laptop too that's fanless, which is my next step in my setup. But this is what I do. It's not perfect. Subscribe if this video was at all useful, and if you're interested in telling me what you do that works better, or maybe something that I'm not thinking about, what I could do better, give me some tips, because this is a process, and the setup that I'm using right now when I'm away from home is going to be totally different probably a year from now. So like I said, subscribe, and I'll update you on my portable setup once it's evolved past this state that is very early on in its evolution. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Questions below in the comments. I'd really appreciate feedback and questions so I can make more videos on portable setups for whatever you're doing, whatever type of creative work you're doing. My name's Todd. I'll see you next time on Mint Green Audio. Take care.